What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, salute to Chantelle Cameron. Jessica McCaskill, let me tell you guys, this isn't a fight that I was crazy about. I really saw the fight playing out the way it did. I felt like Jessica McCaskill, the only way for her to really beat Chantelle Cameron is if she was to knock her out. I felt like she just wasn't all around as talented. She doesn't impose her will enough. It's just, and I mean McCaskill, she doesn't impose her will enough to fight her style. It's just that she gets in there, she's been there with a lot of flat footed fighters. And if you are a flat footed fighter, then she can get busy. Chantelle doesn't know how to cut the ring off, and she basically doesn't really have any footwork to get in and out. I felt like McCaskill. I feel like Chantelle Cameron just was a better boxer all around. She boxes, she gets in, she gets out. She has all around more skills. And even when she did get in, fight, sit down on her shots and fight on the inside at times, she was getting the better of those exchanges as well. I want to say this. When McCaskill beat Cecilia Braekhus was at the end of her career. She really wasn't the same fighter, and she beat her in a rematch. Now, Jessica McCaskill is 38, so she's not going to improve. And even though she beat Cecilia Braekhus and she had the titles, I always felt like there's just a lot of things that she needed to work on. And the respect, though. I forget the lady's name, the fighter at 140 that gave up her titles due to injuries so they could fight for the titles instead of holding a division up. But look at the respect. Chantelle Cameron said she want to fight that fighter when she's ready to fight, and being that she probably won't be ready to fight anytime soon. Well, the same way that they were given an opportunity, well, she'll go to 147 and fight Jessica McCaskill, for her titles at 147. Now, this is an opportunity for her as well, to be, listen, 2 weight classes. Look, the females are doing it, and I know, a lot of the, you hear people saying the female division sucks. Oh, they don't have female boxing. This sucks. They don't have deep divisions. And listen, it is what it is. There are some good fighters out there, and no, they're not all in one stacked division. They're spread around, but at the same time, the willingness to get in there and fight those who are the best. That's something unlike what the men are doing. Let's just keep it real. And they have gotten an increase in salary, great. But here's the deal, and what people always got to understand. Anytime something grows and becomes a machine, anytime something gets to the point it's on a pop culture status, people are doing, different things, magazine covers, they're popping up on, nationwide TV shows, whether it's interviews, whether it's sitcoms, movies, whatever. It gets to the point where there's always somebody thinking money, 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 to where it gets to the point we'll have the same situation you have with the guys. If the guys, all right, let's be real. If the guys had this kind of willingness to get in there and fight each other, boxing would be in so much of a better place. And the females are delivering. Whether you like, female boxing or not, they are in there delivering, and they want to fight each other. Not this, I'm the A side, you the B side, we can't fight because I want all the money. It's just like, a lot of nonsense, anything to just keep the fight from happening. I want to give you crumbs. I'm going to give you an offer that, you're going to have to refuse. Then all of a sudden they take the offer, and it's like, every excuse for the fight to not happen. Look, you just got Shields, and, don't mind me right now. You just got the Shields fight. You just got the Katie Taylor fight. The Baumgartner fight. Just got this fight. with Chantelle and McCaskill. Still, no AJ Fury. Still, no Crawford and Spence. Okay, still, no Garcia and Tank. And the only one at 135 that's really trying to make moves is Devin Haney. So let's just be real. Savannah Marshall, Michaela Mayer, what I was trying to say. But yeah, so anyway, just saying. At least the females are in there making it happen. While, for whatever crazy reason, we know that there's a lot of he said, she said on the men's side of things, and you never know what's going on. I really don't care for it because it's not going to, us even knowing. The only thing about knowing who the holdup is for me is, well, you know who to blame. But what is that going to do as far as the fight goes? And the same fighters, the same entities, the same people that's holding the fight up, you support their cards, you support it, and you'll say, well, it's because it's boxing. But again, it's really nothing just but gossip and talk. I was listening to an interview with Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua said something towards the end of that interview. Now, a lot of people have been puzzled by his words, and like him saying that he may take a year off and stuff like that. That was on a separate interview. That's the one thing that Eddie Hearn pretty much, and I agree, don't want for AJ, because AJ needs to move. That's the thing. He's not fighting often enough, and the experience that he will gain the more he fights, well, it's just not helping anything in that sense. So Anthony Joshua, on the flip side, is a businessman. He owns a company, okay, boxing related. But he said something in this interview that I've been stating to people for the longest. This is an era in time of you need to be on top of things. You need to know how to promote yourself. You need to know how to market yourself. And you have a lot of these idiots who they just repeat what someone else says that they look up to or respect what they say. And all this, oh, these guys are not businessmen, they're fighters. That's what they pay people for. Yeah, well, again, yet you're paying people but you're unknown. You still can't fill out a stadium, a building anywhere, even in your own hometown. So he said basically that you can't do it by the old business model. You have to go out there and market and promote yourself. You got to learn and find out how to do these things. There's one thing you fools fail to realize, okay? The older you get and the closer you come to the end of your career, because you can't box nearly as long as a guy can promote fights, right? Well, think about it. Magic Johnson, he said, nah, I need to learn everything my accountant knows and everything else my agent. That's what you do. Larry Holmes said, nah, I need to cut out the middleman and learn how to do this stuff myself. Same thing on the business side. That way, I know what's going on. Look at what they did to Mike Tyson. And everybody, oh, that's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame they did to Mike, but that's the whole thing. They looked at Mike Tyson like, man, he's as dumb as a box of rocks. I'm going to buy this man a car with his own money. And he didn't even know. If he knew, that couldn't have happened. How could it? So, I just seen this Crown Jewel WWE show. Wish I didn't, but so Logan Paul fought Roman Reigns, and who pops up, comes out at the press conference and come out at the event, but Jake Paul. So you know if he comes, something's going to happen where he's going to be able to put hands on somebody. These dudes, okay, like I said, aside from all the, Jake talking like he's better than what he really is and trying to put himself on a level of a world-class fighter, and ain't nobody going for that other than his YouTube followers. But as far as everything else, business-wise, like him promoting himself to like get his hands in on different things and expanding his brand, that's what you're supposed to do. This is a dog-eat-dog world. This is a sink-or-swim type world. That's life, man. So for all of this shit where you can sit up here right now and argue about who's this, who's that, look at these fighters who you can sit up here right on YouTube and go through all these classic fights that they had. These dudes show up to a Hall of Fame ceremony. They don't even have money. They don't have a dental plan. They don't have money to even get their teeth fixed. They sit there, all the teeth missing. You understand what I'm saying? Just living a normal life now. Don't have anything. Just a belt to say, oh, I won this back in the 80s and 90s or whenever. You better learn how to promote and market yourself. These fighters are not understanding. And I said they need to look at what Jake and Logan are doing. And you know what? Okay, even if these guys get a boxing podcast, something boxing related or sports related, whatever. Something to expand their brand and get their name out there more, whatever. But all of this sitting back and nobody knows who you are. And then you're like 34, 35 years old, still trying to make a splash in boxing. It's like, so everything else you've done is kind of undermined because it was done a long time ago and against people who were good but not really pound for pound list type fighters. You understand what I mean? So, or Hall of Fame type fighters. But at the end of the day, when I saw what was going on, I said, you see, Logan Paul gets booed. Jake Paul gets booed when they shot pop at a WWE event. It's not the point. Whether people like them or not, they watch. And these guys got their hands in on everything. Jake Paul just fought Anderson Silva last weekend. The weekend before last. And now he's popping up here, at a WWE event. These fucking boxers are sitting up here bitching and complaining and fighting on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. But when it comes to the in-ring action, it's every excuse for a fight to not happen. And then they go back and forth arguing about who did what, who did this, who said that, you ain't shit, you ain't real, you fake, blah, blah, blah. And everything but let's fight. Let's get in here and make it happen. Stop talking, let's fight. I just thought that it was interesting, though, because for the people that was even saying, oh, that's it, it's official, Anthony Joshua lost his heart and stuff like that, maybe so. But you want to know what you want to make sure that you have? People can boo you or cheer you. Even if Anthony Joshua was to knock out Deontay Wilder, knock out Tyson Fury, rematch Usyk and knock him out, knock out Joe Joyce, knock out Daniel Dubois. You want to know what? People will still slate him. They will still find some type of little dirt to throw as to why he won, why he knocked them out, whether it was some of them were overrated or some of them were too old or whatever it may be. Oh, he's on steroids. It'll be something. So he don't need to worry about that. But life after boxing, a whole lot of these fighters, every fighter is not going to have a commentating job. Every fighter is not going to open up a gym and run a gym, and they don't have that, So what is it that you can do right now to help expand your brand? Paulie Malignaggi hasn't even fought in years, right? And this dude is he has his own podcast, plus he's a part of another one with Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver. You have to find something other than just boxing. And when you have your own platform, you're going to tell me a freaking Instagram model can have 5.4 million, 19 million Instagram subscribers, but world-class fighters don't understand? And you paying somebody to market and promote you, but they don't even, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Maybe you don't want to. Well, that can be your downfall. So the point is, you can't complain about nothing. Like I said before, it's like you have this rapper that does commercial music, and then you have this rapper that does street music. And this street rapper, everybody, including himself, I spit that real shit, you know what I'm saying? These niggas over here spitting that commercial shit, man. Nobody want to hear that shit. Yet, this commercial rapper is going platinum. Time after time after time after time. You barely even scratching gold. And you bitching about what other rappers are doing. No, they chose one route, you chose another. So you have to deal with that. What else can you do to expand who you are? Well, you might see some rappers start a podcast. They might end up on some reality show. The bad thing about the reality show situation is usually when they end up on a reality show and they're not really selling records like that, that's why. It just looks desperate. Like, how do you go from that to this? But I'm talking those reality shows where them and their wives are on there. They're on there just sitting around in the house bitching with another group of men about life and that type of shit. But I mean, I'm saying, how do you do something different to expand your brand? Some people try to come out with like a little clothing line or something, just something to keep themselves relevant, to keep themselves in the spotlight. Look at what 50 Cent did. So it goes to show you, and this dude sold more records than everybody. So it's your choice on what you choose to do and how you choose to do it. But you can't go blaming everybody because of your shortcomings. So again, if you have a team of people and they're failing you, well, if you allow them to keep failing you, you're also failing yourself, because you're doing nothing to change your situation, to make your situation better. And if you think that people are going to go out and fight harder than you, nah, you're not paying them that goddamn much for them to, it's shit that you have to do for yourself. But I just thought it was interesting that, not that AJ said it, just the backlash, the comments that people was making, right? Him having success outside of boxing means more money, right? Maybe he has lost his hunger. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Deontay Wilder just recently said he has things that he's into outside of boxing. Maybe he's lost his hunger. Who knows? Who knows? But at the same time, Deontay wasn't talking that way before. Then he wakes up and realizes, I got to do something else. I can't do this forever. It is what it is. Look at the new Creed movie. I saw Canelo got a little cameo in there. So just saying, it's always something you can do different. But I'm not talking about a one-time thing. You just do something to show your face. I mean, how do you keep it going? You can create something that could help boxers coming in so they don't end up in the same situation as you. And a lot of fighters think, being, coming up with their own promotional company. Nah, that's not really it, because you're not going to have enough fighters in your stable to do anything really significant. You can help maybe one fight at a time through time, but whatever, it has to be something consistent. And I just feel like, when I'm looking at what the females are doing, it's like they are in a position where, even though it's boxing, it's like the men is over here, they're over there. And at least they're delivering. So once you get to the point, like I said, where something gets so big that everybody wants a piece of, that's invested into a project, into a company, into and anything that exists that becomes a thing, and like I said, it has a machine behind it financially, greed. And then what you used to respect and really get into is something different. So we'll see the way things go. But yeah. Salute to Cameron. She did what she had to do. We hear rumors about certain fights happening. Sometimes I think they just throw it out there just to stir the pot up to get people talking about it. And you never know if these fights are actually going to materialize or not. So anyway, talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.